and goes in like that. So then you have your fist like that. And so here from the side, you've got your fingers here, and basically are seeing the back side of the thumb here. So, basically goes like that. Okay. And you can see how it follows that first basic box shape, And now let's look more at the shape of the fingers here. Okay, let's go ahead and, let's look at it from this angle here. We've got, the basic, we're drawing the basic box shape here, and this is the back side, and, we're going to kind of show the front side here. So we've got this part here is kind of, the way it sticks out, it's starting to eclipse the rest of this. So basically, we think of the palm as continuing on down here, but what we have here is we have this shape here up front is starting to, in 3D, it's starting to eclipse the shape behind it here. It's starting to cover it up. So as you draw it, you want to start drawing more this shelf here, that is the fingers folded over. You're drawing, and you're thinking of this shelf here is starting to eclipse or cover up the base of the palm down here. If you were to continue to rotate, this hand to rotate it that way, this shelf shape here would eventually could totally eclipse the base of the palm back here. You see it kind of rolling over, moving in front, and this shelf shape starts to eclipse that palm below it. So what we have here is we're drawing, here's this here. Now, just as we did up here, we want to put an angle. We want to cut away on the top of the palm where the fingers come off the hand. We want to cut that down. That's our first alteration of the basic shape, and it's going to follow through. So these fingers here, you're going to follow the line through and have them also cut away here, and each of them incrementally gets smaller so that the pinky is incrementally smaller. The index finger is smaller than the middle finger here. You really want the widest part between these three lines around the index finger. And you want to create this kind of accordion shape. You want to start to warp it and bend it. And you can see the palm sticks through because the pinky is too small to cover up the palm down here. So this padding right here is going to show through, and the pinky won't eclipse the padding here. I mean, it will if you move it, but so you're looking at the padding here, and you want to go ahead and kind of accordion style work out the way these three lines get closer together down here and a little closer together up here, and they're furthest apart right here. And accordion style, you're going to shape those fingers and warp them. And as you play around with warping the way these fingers move together, you can really make the hand look convincing that way. Like, if you look here, you've got, it's basically like the grid of these hands. Look at that. What happens there? You get that warping. See how how much of how much it deviates from a box. You know, if you think of that as a flat surface, well, you can't really think of that as a flat surface. You know, it's more like this rounded surface here. So that's what you're drawing here, and you want to go ahead, start out with the box, but then you want to go ahead and warp, you know, this grid when you're getting the fingers. And it depends on what you think the character, it's a chance to think about who the character is, to you know, move the fingers by warping, you know, the grid here. And you know, so here's the joint here of the thumb. I always think of drawing the thumb almost as separately from the hand. It really, the thumb stands out from the hand, you know, so much. It's really an independent, it's a very independent appendage, and so I usually draw it last, and I just kind of think of it as being its own entity almost. So, you know, then we basically have the fist from the front view here, and then, you know, of course from there, that's where you're going to go ahead and want to carve out, you can carve out the knuckles, you know, shape the individual fingers, but to get, you know, if you want to draw people, you want to make them look convincing, and to make them look convincing, you need them to have natural poses and postures, in order for them to have, like, I've seen drawings of people that are just like one line, obviously a drawing, no detail, that are a lot more convincing than every pore being drawn, because I've seen drawings of people where it's all detail, but the motion is not, there's no understanding of the basic movement. So if you can draw people in real basic forms and kind of get their overall motion, it's going to add a lot more interest for people, and it doesn't matter if you take it to a simple line, or if you fill in every single pore and draw, you know, every hair on the individual. What people respond to are the natural movement, and the way to achieve that is to learn to draw people in these you know, you're basically drawing lines and real basic boxes to start, moving them around, getting a sense for how these, you know, kind of graduated stick figures move. And if you get an understanding of how you know, this form right here, which basically we've divided up into, you know, let's say, you know, many box-like forms. This right here is a fairly complicated structure. It's got 1, 2, 3, you know, it's got many box forms, is basically one box form that you can just kind of, the more you work with this, you can, when you're drawing a figure with the kind of, you know, just sticks and box and circles, you're gonna draw better boxes that will later be very good guides for dividing it up into more complicated form. You know, the best way, if you'd like to help out my efforts, best thing you could do is to put a link on your blog or email it to a friend. You know, let people know about my tutorials, let people know about my animation, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And it fuels the fire. If the more that happens, the more I'll put all these tutorials up on the net and keep doing it for a long time. So I hope you enjoy drawing and have a good day.